Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move this week. Bailey Lipschultz is Bloomberg News equities reporter. Bailey, got a couple minutes on this. What's on your radar today?
Yes, you mentioned kind of the response from Donald Trump about Vietnam. We did see the likes of a Nike on the shoemaker on Lululemon rebounding today, actually trading in the green, a handful of the few stocks that are trading higher really on most folks' radars. So this is signaling some optimism that maybe their supply chains that they intentionally had diversified away from China are actually going to be playing out in their favor. So again, a little bit of bottom feeding, but keeping things full perspective, these are companies that for the most part were deep in the red yesterday and now are only marginally higher. So again, Nike, one of your best performers in the S&P 500, along with some of those other apparel athleisure companies, but still a lot of questions around some of those other countries that they source goods from.
Nvidia having another tough day, though.
Tough day for Nvidia. One of the things we track is retail buying, and I've seen an overwhelming amount of buying on the Fidelity platform from what we've heard from the folks over at JP Morgan. So buying that dip, but this is a company that is so heavily predicated on being the driver of the market. So if investors are de-risking or de-leveraging, maybe even just taking some chips off the table after what's been a tremendous, really 3-year stretch, that's why we're seeing Nvidia, again, being one of the many Mag7 names helping drag some of these big benchmarks lower.
All right, finally, just 30 seconds on Tesla. What's going on?
We
Down
saw a big
10%.
rally after the election. Down 10%, Tim. Fundamentally, in theory, should be somewhat benefiting from supply chain tariffs, I think. But the big thing is such a big run-up and continuing to see concern around Elon Musk, the future with the government, with the company, and obviously another one of the many companies that, at least on a typical earnings multiple, is very highly valued relative to even the Mag7 at like 4 times. So seeing that company taking on the chin as well.
Yeah, down about 50% from that mid-December high. So ouch. Bailey, thank you so much. So appreciate it. That is Bloomberg News equities reporter Bailey Lipschultz.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.